Well, Robertson County is growing, like all of Middle Tennessee is growing, and I've seen that vibrancy coming into Robertson County. We had a 22% population increase in the last census.
Communities are growing together and integrating, and it seems like as we continue to grow together, then attitudes change and people think in regional ways.
So how do you make sure that that growth happens in a pattern that doesn't subject the region to more sprawl? And also, how do you provide a transportation network? So the big challenge over the next 20 years is going to be, this growth that's about to happen. How do you manage it?
The Nashville region has experienced tremendous growth and success with economic development over the last 5 years. I hope that we don't get too comfortable with that. I think there's a real danger of letting growth happen and not being intentional about moving those jobs to where the workforce lives.
By the year 2040, the Nashville area is expected to be home to more than 3 million people, making it larger than present-day Denver and approaching the size of the Seattle metro area, and will welcome a more diverse population in terms of age, race, ethnicity, and lifestyle.
It seems like at one time we had individual cities. Those cities are now integrating. We're actually becoming a real region. We've got our own identity, but at the same time, we understand that we've got to plan regionally in the area, whether it's transportation, growth as far as development, and we've got to make a commitment to that. We've got to make an investment now.
When companies move to our area, they don't look at a specific city or a specific county. They look broadly across the region. So that's why it's so important that as we address these issues of our economy, transportation, and housing, that we continue to work as a region.
As our communities change, so do our needs. Major shifts in consumer preferences for housing and transportation is occurring, placing significant importance on our land use and transportation decisions. The market is moving away from urban sprawl after decades of increased burden on taxpayers and higher costs of doing business as a result of inefficiencies.
How do we redevelop our city centers and our neighborhoods and our communities? How do we conserve our open lands and our environmental resources so that we can keep that beautiful green buffer that we have? How can we grow and make strategic infrastructure investments and not waste money?
It's going to be important to plan that future development so that transit's an integral part of the planning as compared to an afterthought to the planning.
The Music City Star is a great asset for Wilson County. We continue to promote to find different avenues of people to locate along our rail.
MPO has an emphasis on the fact that transportation is more than just mobility. The fact that getting from point A to point B to point C is also about connection, so that if I can get somewhere, then I can be involved in what's happening in that place.
As Tennessee grows, so must our ability to support economic development and attract and retain a talented workforce. A multimodal transportation system is critical to protecting and enhancing our quality of place.
You can't talk about transportation without talking about it in a multimodal way. Until this discussion, I never viewed sidewalks as part of the transit discussion. But from pedestrian traffic to rapid transit, and the movement of goods and people around this region, that transit discussion is just going to become more and more prevalent as we go forward to 2040.
As a region in 2040, we're looking forward to seeing more sidewalks. We're looking forward to seeing people walking and not turning around constantly to see if a car is going to come at them. We're looking forward to seeing whole families out because there's room for more than one person to be somewhere.
I look forward to someday riding my bicycle and being able to ride from county to county and enjoy a day of doing that.
One of the things that's no doubt true and it's going to happen is the fact that technology is going to be a bigger part of how we commute and how we get across our community.
As we move forward with the 2040 plan, I hope that we can get the millennial generation much more engaged in this process. I think they're open to more transit options, interested in bus rapid transit and connectivity between the communities in the region. And I hope that they can emerge as a political force in moving these things forward. And we need more of that in the Middle Tennessee region.